So let me now walk you through how we used the command center for the Lifebuoy campaign. The first stage was about channel selection and how do we make the right choices across different channels which are available to us. And we looked at different kind of data sets to have a scientific approach to our channel selection. We looked at historical patterns on what's worked for Lifebuoy earlier videos in the past. We looked at what demographics consume that video more and what kind of environments are they looking at when they consume that video. So that was the starting point. We then moved into what consumers should we be targeting. And again, it came from a wealth of data which was available to us in the past on what we should be targeting in terms of content which is similar to the Lifebuoy campaign and what's worked in the past. We started omitting areas on the go in real time where the drop-off rates were much higher. In terms of video consumption, people were reducing, the drop-off rates on video were much higher. Sorry, I need to cut this because I'm not supposed to use drop-off rates, but the engagement rates. So I'll start again.
Okay, start from the top.
The top of?
I mean, from like start from the beginning.
Sure.
And action.
So let me walk you through how we used this room for the existing Lifebuoy campaign that we are running. We looked at different data points from the planning stage right down to execution and optimization. And for planning, it was a pretty interesting data set that we used. We looked at historical patterns on what's worked for Lifebuoy in the past. We looked at what kinds of consumers resonated well with those kind of video sets. And we started looking at content areas where we should be present when we execute our campaign. So lots of historical data was mined and analyzed and represented through these screens to make scientific decisions. And once the channel choices were made, we moved into optimizing those channels. And we started looking at patterns on what kind of demographics are consuming that video more and where the drop-off rates are. And one of the very interesting optimization strategies we used was looking at over a three-minute video where the drop-off rates are maximum. And that helped us enable a whole new idea on having shorter forms, which were 1-minute forms, where we worked with PhD to create specific shorter form content, which worked better for us. And our overall campaign analysis improved. We also look at other targeting parameters on the go, which were around demographic targeting and time-based targeting, looking at real-time data, which helped us increase the dwell rates on the video content.
Cool. So,
did you set the focus on this already?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
And action.
So the campaign goes live, but that's the starting point. That's where all the action starts. What we start doing is we start mapping consumer journeys across different segments that we are targeting and look at different data sources and how they are functioning. And this is a tracking which starts from the first touch point right down to loyalty and beyond. So this is an example of the consumer journey being mapped. And even for Lifebuoy, we followed a similar pattern where we look at different data points starting from awareness right down to consideration, loyalty, and engagement, which were tracked seamlessly in real time.
And action.
So what we have here is an adaptive workspace, a workspace which is picking up data from all our key partners. We have Google screens here, we have Twitter, we have Facebook. These screens help us take decisions on our campaigns. These are not solely for dashboarding. We look at pre-planning data, which helps us target the campaigns better. We look at during the campaign data, which helps us optimize better, and post-campaign data, which helps us corroborate what we are doing. Cut.
Brilliant.
Nice.
That was nice. Yes. Whenever you're ready.
On your account.
Okay, and action.
So let me give you an example of how we use some of these data sets to do better planning and more scientific approach to our campaign execution. Here is a screen which is looking at Google Analytics. We have other screens which look at YouTube consumption patterns. And we are analyzing that data to look at what content has resonated well with what kind of genders, what kind of age bands in the past. We are also looking at what kind of content people consume better across different demographics and psychographics. So we are analyzing past data, we are analyzing real-time data to look at what campaign is working better in which part of the world. We are also looking at different gender types and their choices that they're making, and it helps us plan better and execute better, more scientifically.